So Pat puts up this tweet, and and this has kind of been this has been your thing. There it is. And then you talked about it in your YouTube show. Incredible how Spencer Strider returned from Tommy John surgery after a year. Andrew Painter had it 22 months ago, and the Phillies have him on a 70 pitch count. 70 pitch count. Stop coddling the damn kid. Take the bubble wrap off and the training wheels off. All right, so explain yourself. Why are you so angry with the way the Phillies are handling Andrew Painter?
Because if Andrew Painter was not Andrew Painter, if Andrew Painter was Max Smith, a former 5th-round pick drafted out of UCF who had Tommy John surgery, he'd be pitching right now. He wouldn't be on a 70 pitch count. He would be pitching. But because it's Andrew Painter, it's the golden boy, we got to coddle him and we got to sit there and act like, oh, my God, we have to ease him into it. It was 22 months ago. Like, you let him pitch the entire Arizona Fall League. Then he comes into spring training and you don't let him pitch? He doesn't pitch at all. So it's okay for him to pitch in October and November, Smarty Jones. But fast forward to March, no, he can't pitch then. And then he starts the season, it's 25 pitches and 30. And what are we doing? Like, you're overdoing it. You're wrapping him in, but he's the kid from Little Giants wrapped up in foam. Like, he's fine. And there was a story from Jason Worth talking about Steven Strasburg. Remember when the Nats shut down Steven Strasburg when they could have made the playoffs?
Yeah.
And they were like, what?
He's at his pitch.
Jason Worth was like, he was fine. He's our best pitcher. He's throwing every day, but the organization's terrified of pitching him. That's what the Phillies are doing with this kid. You cannot convince me that if Andrew Painter was a 10th round draft pick, he wouldn't be pitching fine right now. Like, they wouldn't just be go ahead, go. But because it's Andrew Painter, it's no, 75, 80, 85. Like, it's annoying to me. It's beyond annoying.
So here's what I'll say. And if this was Larry Larson, that was a 17th round pick and was in the same situation, I don't know if they'd be handling him exactly the same, but guess where he wouldn't be pitching right now? In the major leagues. This is a numbers problem. So, like, I honestly believe that if the Phillies didn't have Chris Sanchez, if they had an obvious need for a starting pitcher, they wouldn't be handling it the same way because they don't have the luxury to handle it the same way. So going by what you want to do, Pat Egan, what are you doing then? Andrew Painter, you want to bring him up right now. What's your plan?
No, I don't want to bring him up. It's more of the fact that they have him in the minors on a pitch. It's strictly the pitch count thing. The pitch count thing bugs me.
Why?
I'm because there's no need for it. He's healthy. He's been healthy.
Let me ask you this. So you just think the Phillies are winging it and are flying by the seat of their pants and they're like, oh, well, like, let's just put them on a pitch count for the hell of it. Or you think there's actual science with doctors that is behind this?
I think that they're treating him like a Fabergé egg. I think they are terrified. Look, the Nationals did it with Steven Strasburg. Like, we've seen this before. We've seen organizations treat top prospects and top pitching prospects, and they do it as if they are handling fire. And that's what I think the Phillies are doing with this kid. Where, like, it was 23 months ago at this point.
Right. Like, but explain. But this is obviously being dictated by sports science. I don't know how you could argue that. You could disagree and say that they're coddling him too much. But this isn't some plan that John Middleton says this is how we're going to handle it. Yes, there's some kind of analytic and science that says based on his age, how many pitches he's thrown, the type of surgery, and how and the actual injury. Because every time it's different. Spencer Strider's is different than Andrew Painter. This is how we're going to handle him because we don't need him to pitch right now.
Now you're making me sound like my uncle who lives in a trailer and posts conspiracy theories on Facebook.com. Like, because I don't believe I don't believe that there's like a science here. I just think that they're so terrified of re-injuring this kid that they've put him on a pitch count when there's no need for the pitch count. It makes no sense to me that he is fine to pitch in the Arizona Fall League and you don't pitch him in March and then he comes back a month later and he's on a 35 pitch count. Like, that doesn't make a lick of sense to me. It will never make sense to me. I wouldn't be making this argument if it was like 16 months. But Tommy John has always been a year. It's always been a year. And it was a year when the Arizona Fall League came up, it was a year. And all of a sudden, now it's 2 years. Like, the kid already lost 2 years of his career because you kicked the can down the road on his rehab where it was like, all right, we'll try again. We'll try pitching off flat ground. And you push the surgery back. And now it's 75 pitch count. It's enough.
Right.
Let the kid go.
So, let him throw 120 pitches in the minors because it'll
I
make
didn't
you
say
feel better.
120 pitches.
So how many? So what are we talking about? 10 pitches? 10 more pitches?
Don't have him on a pitch count. It's that simple. If he's fine going into the 5th inning, let him pitch. Let the man pitch.
Okay. Like I'm fine with that. The fact that you're making as big of an issue as you are about 10 pitches, like, come on, man. And if honestly, if you think that there's not sports science behind this, you know how many full-time analytics people the Phillies have? I don't. I just tried to Google it. It's a lot. There's I mean, I'm not saying that it's right, but there's a plan for this dude. They're not just winging it.
There's a plan for him because he's Andrew Painter. That's my point. And like you could point to like the analytics guys. I mean, the analytics guys is what got us like exit velo and launch angle. And Reese Hoskins having the worst year of his career when Gabe Kapler wasn't here because exit. Like I'm not so old school where it's like I don't believe in it necessarily. I just think this is a scenario with him because he's Andrew Painter that he starts the season on a 35 pitch count as if he just had it.
You and Fit Dad CEO are easily the two most annoying Andrew Painter truthers out there. Fit Dad CEO is one of our regulars, and he's like, yo, all season long, take the gloves off. You're treating him like a coddle little kid. He's as annoying as you with it.
Hashtag get my baseball back. I want regular baseball back.
So, and Randy brings up the best point in the chat. They're ramping him up so they can put him out there. Come July, I just don't know where he's going. Where's he going? With the current team, where's he going when you do bring him up?
That's the thing. I don't think this is a situation of we have him on a 35, 45, 55 pitch count because we want to save him for September and October. I fully believe that when late September hits, he would have hit their imaginary innings limit. And he'll be shut down anyway.
So let's get past that. What happened? Like what happens? What do you do if they want to bring him up in July? What do you do? They said they're not going to use him out of the bullpen. What do you do? You got too many starting pitchers.
Yeah, they don't bring him up in July. They don't. Like, as you said, they have too many starting pitchers. Like, there's no room. You re-signed Aaron Nola. You signed Taijuan Walker to a 4-year contract. There's no room.